Here with Matthew. This is kind of like a follow-up video. I'm going to talk to him about this bar and chain. So I've got you a little on the tight side, right? A little bit on the tight side, but it's going to end up loosening up as soon as you start running it. And then the way to tighten this, you loosen your bar nuts, okay? And you use the tool I gave you right here. Counterclockwise loosens it, but clockwise tightens your chain. And you want your chain relatively tight, but you also, when you're tightening it, you want to take the tension off your bar. So I kind of push it down. So you want your tension off your bar. You don't want to tighten it when there's tension on the bar in the air like that. But you kind of want it even. So either you can lift it as you're tightening it, or you can kind of push it down against something like that and then tighten your bar. This will loosen in a matter of a few cuts. So you're going to you want to be ready to tighten it, and you don't want to be running it loose because the chain will come off. That's a mess. It could damage some of the pieces here like the catch. But also, if you end up running a loose chain, your chain tensioner screw bolt right there will end up falling out completely. And if it falls in the grass, you won't find it. And I don't have a bunch of extra to hand you right now. And you can't just buy it at Lowe's or Home Depot. So don't let the chain stay loose. If it starts to get loose, tighten it up. And when you need to change your chain, if you buy another chain, like I suggested at Lowe's, what you do is you end up taking your chain off. If you're putting your bar on, you have to put it on an angle behind the clutch. Then you put your chain on this side behind the clutch. Then you put it on the bar for this style chainsaw. So first you got to make sure your bar is in there. Put it in an angle, slide it behind the clutch, then put your chain on behind the clutch right there, and then put it on the tip. So that's how you end up changing out.
This cut here comes off.
Yeah, this brake stays on to this clutch cover. I guess since my chain's tight, I guess we can just show you what we're talking about here. Yeah, you can film. I'm sure you did a good job filming before. We can let you film again. All right, so let's see here. Okay, so the chain will stay tight as long as I don't move it too much. You see that good catch?
Saw that.
Okay, so the brake needs to be off in order to be able to let that off. So if you have a hard time, it's because this right here is the brake and it squeezes this clutch. So this is what I was talking about. Your bar, to get your bar on, you put it on the bar nuts, but then you have to slide it back behind there and have it in that direction. Then you take your chain and you put your chain on around here, and it has to make sure you fit on the sprocket. I can't remember if there's a sprocket or a different style, but either way, it's running. That's how we know it's just fine. And then you put it on the tip last. Then that bar has to be back like that. And then this clutch cover and the chain tensioner has that pin right there, and that pin has to slide in there. So if you can't get your clutch cover on there, it's because that pin is not in a position yet to go inside there. And once it's all lined up, that clutch cover will go on nice and smooth like that. And right now it's not lined up perfect. There it is. Okay, so I had to kind of put it in an angle because the chain's already tight. And then you get your bar nuts. So like I said, that's going to come loose in about 2 or 3 cuts because it's brand new, and that chain's going to stretch. So you're going to want to end up planning on tightening that chain. And I'm going to quiz you, Matthew. So how do you tighten the chain? How do you tighten the chain? What do you have to do first? What's the first thing to do to tighten the chain?
Yeah.
First thing to do would be loosen these bar nuts.
Okay, yeah.
That's the first thing to do to tighten your chain. Loosen the bar nuts. Then you want to take pressure off of the bar by either lifting it or pushing it down on something like this. So where the bar comes up. That's your second thing you do. Third thing you do is turn that clockwise until your chain gets and that's that's a little tight, really. That's a little bit tight. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna loosen it for you. Just a little bit to keep it from stretching too much and to keep it. So first thing I did was I loosened the bar nuts, right? And I come over here and I take the tension off the bar, put the brake on, take the tension off the bar like that. I lift it up, or I push it down. So when I push it down, that's pretty good. Let's see. I didn't even tighten it right here. Let's see if this somehow will do the trick for us. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's about how you want it. If it's hanging down here, it's too loose. Okay, so that's pretty good. Make sure your bar nuts are tight, or otherwise they'll rattle off and you'll lose them, and then your whole bar and chain will be loose and you can't even tighten it. So see how I'm tightening it right here. I'm pushing with my. I'm not really wrenching it down like that, because you'll end up cracking plastic and everything. But I'm getting it right here and just put some good tension on it like that. See, about like that. Okay, and then that's still loose enough. See how it's starting to hang right there? See how it's hanging right there? That's good for several cuts. It's going to hang more. So after you start cutting several more times, you want to loosen those, tighten it up. And why do you want to keep that tight?
Okay.
Because it'll fall off and you lose your screw in there. That's the tension. The tension. All right. Any more questions?
No, not at all.
You got it. Okay. Sounds good. Like, subscribe, share, thumbs up. Thank you for helping me film. Komatsu 5800 Zenoah Clone.